All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Complexity Casting action. We do, of course, have Complexity taking on Trademark eSports here for coLcast presents Scrimcast Live, a fantastic rivalry between these two teams, going to be making its way onto the scrim table once again. Last week we saw these two teams scrim twice, splitting the series at 1-1. We'll see what happens today after both of them kind of finished out with some disappointing results in the last Han Tour bracket. I'm, of course, your casting host, Beef, and joining me is Panny. Panny, we're happy to get you in here. There was a remake, and you were able to get in now, so I'm very glad that you're here.
Yes, I am too. And I was not here for the lockpick phase, but some interesting heroes.
Yeah,
that's great. So they don't keep her mid. Okay.
Yeah. Let me try to recount what I can from the picking stage here. Pebbles, and it was first pick Ophelia for complexity, and then I believe it was Aluna Master of Arms for tdM, and then Silhouette Torture for complexity, and then Magnus for tdM, then Keeper of the Forest for complexity, then Tempest. No. It was Soul Stealer for the third pick for tdM, and then Magnus Tempest were the last two picks for tdM, and then they rounded it out with a Pebbles. So that's a little bit of what I can remember there from the lock-picking stage. But that's where we are. I mean, getting into these teams, though, like, how do they look to you?
For Legion, we got a lot of push. We got Keep of the Forest. You got Ophelia. You even have Torture to some extent, but he is playing support. They have a lot of early to mid game, and so does tdM. Though pretty much the top 4 heroes on every team have a massive amount of early to mid game potential. Then you got Soul Stealer versus kind of Silhouette late game, but I do like Soul Stealer a bit more mid game. He does combo a lot better with the AoE and his team. They got a Tempest, they got a Magnus. So if he does choose to go the kind of that blink route, they could probably set up a lot of stuff. But at the same time, you do have a Ophelia on the other team, or a Keeper of the Force on the other team, who's kind of able to interrupt any huge ultimates coming out. So I think this game is gonna go down to the team. They're kind of early to mid team fights and initiation versus counter initiation. But both are very strong, and it's one has more push than the other, but I do like Hellborn's team fight a bit more than I do like Legion's, but Legion does have more counter, so it's kind of back and forth. And anything could happen, I think, in team fights for these two teams.
Yeah, it really is going to come down to that initiation, though. Who's going to be able to get the jump on who gets the better positioning. As, well, we're still in this pause. It should clear itself up relatively soon. Now, let's talk a little bit about Soul Stealer. He was completely gone from the scene for like a year and a half. In the last maybe 3 weeks or so, I saw him start to be picked up by Druids, now known as N9 Gaming. They were actually running him in the long lane with a babysitter quite often. Since then, I've seen a few times in the in-house leagues. I've seen a few times, even yesterday, being played by Stay Green in the final game of the Han Tour Grand Finals, and here by tdM. What's with this hero's comeback into the scene?
I really think that he died out kind of mainly because he was just so easy to gank in the mid lane. He was, at that point, you had either dual mages or you had constant roamers. So he kind of really got gamed. You couldn't do anything about it. Nobody really thought of putting Soul Stealer in any other lane but mid. And I think that's kind of where we are at this point in the game, is that if he is being put mid, it's almost 100% against a solo. Now, in this case, you could put a Torture Pebbles mid, so they are kind of putting a bit of a risk on Soul Stealer. And the other thing I also like about Soul Stealer is that you can shut him down, but he's going to recover so fast because he has one of the fastest farming materials in the game, which are his Demon Hands. So if you constantly stack the jungle, it's going to be easy for him to recover. I think he's just a hero that people kind of like. It's just like in the moments you pick him. I don't think you ever plan to pick a Soul Stealer unless you're going to plan to go kind of a huge AoE team. But he's not really a go-to carry, I think, in the sense that he might not be reliable early game because he's just so easy to gank, no escape mechanism. And even if you put him in the safe lane to farm, he might not benefit as much as heroes like FA or Moon Queen. but he's very strong, and I like the lineup that they have around him because it is supportive of the Soul Stealer. They have a lot of area to back him up. So, but yeah, I mean, like you were saying with the in-houses, he's been used a lot actually in a lot of in-house games, and I think maybe people kind of started remembering the power of Soul Stealer after playing him in these in-house games.
He is very, very powerful. Right now, he's going to be going up against B-Kid, who is kind of taken over this suicide role a little bit. Currently, though, playing mid against Soul Stealer. And when you're talking about that, I mean, Soul Stealer works by just pounding in those auto attacks against heroes. Once you start to get into that level 4, level 5 range, the demon hands start to become very, very effective as well. But the Nature's Veil here from Keeper of the Forest should actually help quite a bit at mitigating a lot of that auto attack damage. However, the push potential of Keeper of the Forest is going to be all but wasted against this Soul Stealer being played by Noob G. Demon hands 1, 2, 3, and all of your tree dogs are gone.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward that actually he's getting a bit harassed here. Actually, so Ophelia's going to be running over as well. They're bringing the whole creep wave with them. I'm not sure what's really going on. Keeper of the Forest just constantly chasing this.
Good flank on the Minotaur though. Tempest is there though. Not going to be able to get the stun off. Good rotation from Tempest with that Glacial Blast. Otherwise, well, Soul Stealer could very well have been dead right there.
Yeah, kind of Soul Stealer being a bit, I think, too aggressive in the lane, and he kind of got caught out with Ophelia running after him.
Top
we'll
lane,
put him in top,
definitely some trouble for Master of Arms, and Limp goes down. He gives up the Bloodlust kill. Luna looking for another one right here. Power Throw is available. Not going to connect, though. It hacks her and saw the angle and corrected. So good job to the Complexity crew, able to get that kill on Limp up there in the top lane. And Limp on Master of Arms, and we see him as a very, very versatile hero, and Limp typically does play initiators and mid heroes. Is he going to be playing a hard carry Master of Arms right now, or is that more of a secondary support?
I wouldn't call it secondary support or hard carry. It's kind of like semi-carry. He might go for that Energizer very early on. I see a lot of players do that. And then kind of late game, he's going to be scaling into that more of a carry role. But I think like early to mid, you're kind of supporting his team. I mean, I wouldn't call him a semi-support because he still is doing a lot of damage in terms of auto attack if he chooses to. So it kind of goes down to his build. But most of the time you see an Energizer, and then after that it's kind of up to the player. You can always get like a Shrunken Head. I've even seen Zai, who plays this hero, every once in a while go like a Helm of the Black Legion. So there's a lot of builds in this hero, or the No Fire Blade. I mean, you can pretty much build whatever you want, and it's more situational. So I think while as the game is going on, he's going to buy something else, but I'm pretty sure he's going to go for Energizer right away, and then kind of see what's going on with the item pickups on his team and the enemy team.
All right, well, top lane, the offensive trialing of Complexity working so far. Chain Reaction Stun dodge right there. Limp doing well in that respect. Now, the bottom lane, let's take a look at this one. Haven't really looked at that so much. Moonmeander, 252 gold per minute up against Suicide Zai playing Magnus. And, well, there's initiation up top. Torture perhaps in control. Manning up with the impalement on, though. And there's the Catman stun. Master of Arms will go down. And Luna going to be able to take out Torture, but she'll pay for it as Complexity cleans up 2 for 1, sacrificing Franzi on the Torturer. But otherwise able to get the kills up there. And they're doing very, very well so far in this long lane.
Yeah, I really like that. Actually, bottom lane over here. When Manda getting initiated on, he's going to drop. And, yeah, okay, so. Nice gank by my nuts. Yeah. Always going bottle. Always going bottle.
I like that. I mean, I think that when your mid isn't necessarily going to be getting all the runes when you're running a solo mid rather than a dual lane mid, that getting a bottle on your jungler can certainly help. Then the mid can lean one direction, the jungler leans the other, and you should be able to have good rune control. If you do have a dual lane and you have a support running the bottle for you, I don't like it as much because that support should be doing somewhat of the same job. But, well, Silhouette, level 5 right now. Perhaps going to be coming over here onto Tempest. Activates that tree grapple. Needs to be careful. There's the chain reaction stuns. And needs to line up that Death Lotus. Will get it. And Moonmeander not only getting Tempest, got the Minotaur and got what appeared to have been 3 of the Tempest Elemental minions as well. With that death that he took, he still gained 30 gold per minute after taking that death.
Yeah, I think Moon just... Right as he died, he's like, somebody come bottom, let's just kill Minotaur right now. Because he's just so vulnerable at the enemy jungle. But actually mid lane over here, Ophelia wants to dive, but it's Vulture Lord, so just gonna pop some harass. Nobody's gonna get back. But yeah, just good overall kind of communication between Moonmeander and Franzi. Being at the right place at the right time. Franzi gonna run into Magnus over here.
Now perhaps in the wrong place. Does activate that impalement though, and Franzi continuing to do a very good job on these tortures whenever he is playing that. Aluna trying to actually turn around onto Pebbles. Activates the health potion and will be just fine. Master of Arms pounding an auto attack still with another Forked Lightning available in 3 seconds. Might be going for that one auto attack. There's the Forked Lightning, but no, Power Supply keeps Pebbles alive. So, Complexity, after sending their heroes roaming in that top lane, Haxorn taking a lot of pressure.
Yeah, well played by him. Limp trying to make the big play, but it just wasn't enough. Zai did pick up that invisibility rune at the bottom lane, and he might even try to set up like a double stun combo with some TPs. Let me check the queue right now. Is there a TP? Nope. Okay, who has a TP on this team? Minus does not. Aluna does not. Tell me. Okay. I don't think anybody on this team has a TP.
Sad.
So I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything. And he can't. Nobody even can TP kind of at this point. It's kind of out of position. Now he could just stun and deny the tower. He also could maybe even ultimate, but it actually looks like fortification is going to be popped, and the Ophelia is just going to get back. So, you know, it could have been probably a huge gank if one person was a bit more prepared, but it wasn't. And actually, top lane, yeah.
Yeah, Master of Arms taking a lot of pressure right here. That impalement does so much damage, and Franzi just walking him down. Level 3 or level 2 impalement. Gonna be level 3. No, chain reaction instead. But it just does so much damage when it's on one person right there. Level 5 Master of Arms just absolutely drops. And so, even though they ran the offensive pseudo tri-lane up there, getting great levels by getting all those kills. Haxorn level 6, Franzi level 5 on Torture, and, well, Franzi on Torture, he is becoming a feared hero-player combination right there. The last 3 or 4 times that I've seen him play this hero, he has done phenomenally.
Yeah, Torture actually used to be even more strong, if you can imagine. Like, the impalement was just doing crazy damage to towers and stuff, which they did eventually nerf a bit. But, yeah, Torture is just... That impalement is just so strong early on because you're generally going to be running down heroes a lot easier than you are in the mid-game stage where people are more clumped up. So, you know, Franz is obviously playing it exceptionally well, and, you know, that's the thing you need to do in a support is just avoid dying, and at the same time dish out a lot of damage. And I think Torture is one of those heroes just as good as the Luna that can do that. You know, Luna has that snipe, Torture has that impalement. I think it's kind of the same idea that they're two of the strongest supports in the game, and Franzi's obviously, you know, being careful. And actually, top lane, okay, they wanted to go, but Haxorn did go back a bit. But
bottom
yeah,
lane, the tower goes down in favor of Complexity, so they're off to a 2,500 gold lead, and falling just a tiny bit behind in experience. A lot of that perhaps in the middle lane, where Keeper of the Force being slightly out-leveled here against Soul Stealers. In the bottom, they're going to be going on to Magnus, and we need the Death Lotus, Just kidding, just needed the auto attacks, I guess. So, down goes Zai, and Complexity definitely in the lead here. 6 and 2 is in the top lane. Pebbles taking some counter harassment, wanted to go onto the Aluna, the Stalagmites though. Did they miss? I didn't catch that.
I got it. I caught it the last second, but
yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, I think they did. I think he stunned defensively, the Master of Arms,
Okay.
or the Aluna, and then they kind of just got back because the Haxorn was walking towards them. But one thing I wanted to mention was this game and last game, you see that they're doing kind of a Pebbles long lane as a support, and it's just working out so well because Moonmeander on that silhouette.
Stun in the middle lane. Keeper of the Force using the root. Going to be able to survive, at least for now. Not going to be the Ophelia heal actually did come out, so going to try to turn it around right here. There's the chain reaction. Impalement going to be used as well. Lava Surge onto 2. Magnus still needs to be very careful. Demon Hand's going to come out, though. Needs to be careful about diving. Defensive Master's Call keeping Magnus alive, and going to activate those Ghost Marches. Going to go in for a stun right here onto Ophelia. Chain reaction, though, and Magnus takes the Catman Champion stun. Going to actually fall. Zai, what are you doing? As Moon gets the kill in the river as well, and Soul Stealer takes the fall. Hastrun, an accomplice in that murder, and just everything clicking right now for Complexity Gaming.
Yeah, that was just really well played by Chessie and Franzi, kind of spreading out, creeps doing their work, and super well played, and nice stun up, by the way. Peter, on the line over here. Okay, Minus taking a lot of damage, but he's going to get back. But what I was trying to mention before was that you have that silhouette in the safe lane, and he's not going to lose a 1v1 to probably any hero in this game when he has the short lane advantage. So you kind of already have somebody winning in that sense down there. Then at the top lane, you're constantly putting pressure on the enemy team's carry. In this case, it's a Master Armor, so it's not that important anyway.
Oh, wow. Tempest, 10 HP. Gonna use the Elemental Void right here, and Silhouette will go down. Moon, if he had gotten the top end of those attacks, might have gotten the kill right there. In the end, though, Zai in the right place at the right time to assist his teammate, and turns it around easy peasy.
Yeah, just one of those kind of RNG, not RNG, but a factor that, you know, always plays a role. It was just very, very well calculated, you could say, by Minus, and took advantage of the situation that he was in. Got a perfect kill, which they needed, because Moon was sitting at around 350 GPM at the point, highest in the game. As right now, nobody's even, okay, soulstealer just hit 300 gold per minute, or he's kind of at that area, while on Legion you have Pebbles and Silhouette. So, you know, even though Silhouette did drop, you still have a Magnus, or a Pebble, sorry, free farming top lane. And
speaking of top lane, though, offensive Master's Call right there onto Tempest, summons the Elementals as well. Chain Reaction going to try to turn it around on a Master of Arms to chuck in the Stalagmites. Master of Arms will go down. Power Throw not going to connect. In the end, 2 against 3. Complexity still manages to get a kill on the semi-carry.
Yeah, that was, I think, Peter just being so sneaky.
Courier. Ooh. Almost going down right there. Zai takes the root right here. Comes the Skeleton Pin. Ophelia's Judgment and the auto attacks to finish him off. So more kills for Complexity. But what were you saying about the top lane?
I was saying that Peter or Franzi, it was hiding kind of behind the trees the whole time. And he came out last second, got a perfect stun, and Impalement was just doing damage, and then you have Haxer and stun on top of that. So it was more, I think, Franzi being a bit sneaky, and they did use everything they had on Pebbles. And he has 1,200 HP, and actually he's going to be...
Speaking of Pebbles right here, takes the Emerald Lightning, the 1 second stun right there, and Pebbles going to try to turn it around, perhaps. He's looking for Stalagmites. No, Chain Reaction stun with the Chuck, finishes off 6 Elementals. Brings home close to 200 gold right there, and actually enables Haxer to finish off his Portal Key. He teleports home, picks that one up, and, well, Soulstealer finally pushing that middle tower. At 13 minutes in here, you really would expect a little bit sooner against a Keeper of the Forest.
Yeah, he did have a tough time, though, in the mid lane. Had a bit of pressure after Moon at least killed him. He was a bit on his toes the whole time. But yeah, good kill by him. He's sitting at around 380 GPM right now, highest in the game. So he's definitely caught up. Like I was saying before, you can try to shut this hero down, but he's just going to farm it so fast. He can take out jungle, and then he stacks just so easily with the Demon Hands. And you know, Noobg right now sitting at around 2,000 gold, already has a Mighty Blade, so he just needs another 800 right now if he wants to get that Shrunken Head straight away. Or he could go for a Portal Key, which I think, I'm not really sure. It's against the Pebbles, he might go straight Shrunken Head, but if he wants to be a bit more mobile, PK will be kind of a better choice, so it's up to him. But yeah, Soulstealer farming fast, and actually at the mid lane over here, a lot of creeps.
Yeah, a lot of creeps indeed. Going to be starting to work on the defensive tower. Zion looking like he wants to go back in, and no, activates the Glyph Fortification now, being blocked a little bit. Tries to go for the deny, use the Lava Surge, and will get on out of there, though. Pebbles using the Portal Key, catches the Luna, combos her down. Level 9 Pebbles just saying, not going to happen, buddy. Tempest walking back up the middle lane, though. Is he hasted? It's really fast. Yes, he is, in fact, hasted. I was like, thought that was just Ghost Marchers, but Tablet of Haste keeping him speedy.
Yeah, he's running around. Oh, wow.
Good catch right there on Zai.
Limp even ults himself because he couldn't click Zai in time. Like,
oh, it was real fast, that's for sure. Death Lotus, 2 auto attacks, and a Chuck. And Zai goes down. Soulstealer has picked up a Portal Key now, and Keeper of the Forest has the money to pick one up. Going to be going in once again in the middle lane. Going to try to turn it around. Drops the green goo. Stalagmites on to Tempest, though Tempest does have the Elemental Void available. There's the Skeleton Hold, and down he goes. Ophelia's Judgment finishes her off. Pebbles has gone down in the middle of this, though, so losing him is a big deal. But as the minions square off on each other right here, I don't think there's going to be any more initiation. In fact, just trying to turn it around a little bit as the 2 supports here from Complexity trying to man up. And Peter will be able to get a lot of those creep kills with the Impalement.
Yeah, well played. Actually, top lane over here. Oof, that was nice. That was nice. I like that one.
It was just Lava Surge plus the Soul Burst from Soul Stealer.
Yeah, exactly. He has a PK as well, so he
Yeah.
PK'd right on top of him, and there's Moon even spawned an illusion because I think he just wanted to bait some initiation onto him, and then obviously he got the initiation, but wasn't able to get out. And,
okay. I thought Moon was going to. Actually, a nice Lava Surge right there, saving Soul Stealer for now. Going to be chucking Magnus back on top of Soul Stealer. We'll be just fine. I thought Moon was perhaps going to buy back as Ophelia's here, and Soul Stealer's definitely in some trouble right now. Oh, going to use the portal key and does escape. Going to turn their attention instead to Tempest. There's the defensive Master's call on top of the chain reaction. Root going to be coming in. Tempest will go down here. Master of Arms going to be joining the fight as well as Aluna. There's the charge shot. The green goo and Torture will take the fall right here. Last hit goes to Limp. Lava Surge onto Ophelia, but Magnus going to take some pressure from the Ophelia minions. Not going to be able to get the lockdown just yet. Haxorn had to retreat very, very low on HP. And Aluna actually going to use the red snipe. Almost connecting with Haxorn. Good dodge, though. And looks like that is going to be that. Aluna, no boots, still in some trouble, perhaps. There's the skeleton lockdown onto Master of Arms. Silhouette's going to be in the vicinity as well. Needs to line up that tree grapple. No, Ophelia going to go down right there to the Lava Surge. Zai manning up. And now Keeper of the Forest plus Silhouette, the only thing remaining against 3 players with an additional one on the way. Keeper just standing there invis, no revelation just yet. Soul Stealer going to be coming in, trying to land the last Demon Hand. There's the dust onto Silhouette. Franzi getting in there. Elemental Void onto him, and Complexity just giving up kill after kill. Portal Key in, there's the Eruption as well. And Soul Stealer will be surviving for now. Pebbles even going to go down as Keeper of the Forest not going to be able to get out of there. Is he going to die as well? This could be the largest throws I've ever seen. No, Soul Stealer able to get out of there, uses his Portal Key, and Complexity just... I don't even know what was going on there in that top lane.
That was pretty much overextending to the maximum. It kind of was a decent team fight in the beginning. Then they split up, and then they just kept going in one by one, getting picked off. And tdM, it looks like they just didn't understand. It's 17 minutes in the game, and people are going to respawn after you kill them after like 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Or like 20 to 30 seconds in Soul Stealer's case. But yeah, that was, it was a good idea by Complexity, but they stick around too long, and they were just trying to get more kills and outplaying the enemy opponents, and it kind of turned on them. So, I've been unfortunate. Really well played by tdM, though. I mean, Minuts, I kind of feel bad for this game because you have a Keeper of the Forest constantly ulting you, have a Pebbles jumping you have Skeleton Kings all around you, and it's just impossible to even get an ultimate off. So he just kind of used it there on Franzi, and he's like, screw it. I really want to get this kill, and they picked him off, and I'm actually really happy that Zai even ulted there because that's the only reason they killed Haxorn in that situation as well. But yeah, overall, tdM pretty much using everything they had, and they got a full-on genocide, even though it wasn't technically one.
I don't even know what the score was up there. I'm not quite sure, but I think it was probably about 7-5 in tdM's favor. Maybe like 7-4, something along those lines. I know they killed Silhouette twice. I know they killed Franzi twice. And Haxorn died once. He was able to get out of there the first time. And speaking of Haxorn, the Forked Lightning going to go out right there, and Hax should be able to get out of there. No, not going to be able to just yet. And Soul Burst going to be coming in. Pebbles goes down. Limp brings home that last kill. So, well, tdM starting to look better again. Still down in gold, but up 3,000 in terms of experience. Tree Grapple going to be coming in right here. There's the Root, and Minut's taking some serious pressure. He goes down, so Complexity responding 1 for 1. But, well, there's the Emerald Lightning going to be coming in as Zai wants to come in and get the kill onto Ophelia. Down Ophelia goes. Will they be able to get Franzi as well? Maybe even the Ophelia minute's more important. There's the big Lava Surge. Charge shot finishes off Franzi. And the top side of the map just belongs to Trademark eSports.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Franzi and Chesky were doing there. Haxorn died very, very near that area, about like 10 seconds before they went there, so a bit questionable by them kind of being in that area, but tdM doing everything that they can, and they're just doing so well. That was a decent pick off bottom, but you did use Keeper Ultimate, and now you can't really fight for another minute, even if you wanted to. As for Soul Stealer, like you said right there, Soul Stealer just works well with a bunch of stuns on his team, just so you can lock down the enemy opponent. They had a Magma stun on top of an Aluna, and then just Soul Stealer ulted behind him, and that's exactly what you need to have if you want a Soul Steal on your team to work out. So, you know, they're making it work, and tdM's kind of having a bit of a comeback here. They actually do have the gold and XP lead now. It's not very large in terms of gold. XP's, you know, pretty crucial at this point in the game. But if you do look at the stats, you know, it doesn't look that that different. But I mean, now you do have a Shrunken Head finish on Soul Stealer, so Legion's gonna have a very, very hard time now shutting down this enemy team. Like if tdM is able to initiate first, then yeah, Complexity's gonna have a very, very hard time in this game.
Yeah, they certainly are. And I wanted to point out before that fight even happened up top that Zai was at 150 gold. Completely, like, far away, as they're going to be going in on Keeper of the Forest right here, but TP support makes them think twice about it. He was not anywhere near his portal key. Now, you know, what, 6 minutes later, 5 minutes later,
Yeah.
he's been involved in an additional, like, 8 hero kills or something, and picks up that portal key. Magnus will walk in and spot the Ophelia minion, so might know something else is up. And both teams kind of posturing around. Insania with the Ward of Sight. Not going to be able to spot Keeper of the Forest because he is invis. Moon finishes up his Nullstone, so that's good for him. But is he going to be able to get involved here? Red Power Throw trying to do some scouting. Not revealing a whole lot, though. And now they're going to look to try to bring down the Ophelia minions. Complexity giving up the tower. Wanting nothing to do with that one.
Yeah, Moonman is, as you were saying, I mean, it's very, very difficult for him to actually participate in fights. He doesn't even have this Mystic Vestments. And Hellborn is pretty much fully based on that magic damage ability. So, you know, it was a smart decision by Complexity not taking that fight, especially because they kind of waited too long, and it got in, the Hellborn team needed to have the momentum in that area. Soul Stealer does actually have a DD bottled now, so they're going to really try to strive to take a fight right now. They might mass TP top, or just try to push another lane. As you see, two people are bottom kind of pressuring it, Soul Stealer's moving around. He really wants to get a pick off right now. But
yeah, he certainly does. That double damage plus a Shrunken Head. 10 seconds left on that one. Going to make for a very good fight for tdM if they can take one. But Soul Stealer, I mean, he snowballs so hard, like you said. Even if he has kind of a rough start, which he didn't. He was fighting against a solo Keeper of the Forest mid. He had a great start. 455 gold per minute, 100 over right now. So even though he was down in the 200 range at some point, or excuse me, like the 250 range, barely cracking 300 when Silhouette was at like 370, you know, he's recovered most certainly, and now going to start to be very, very fearsome as he's going to hit level 16 momentarily. Going to be able to guarantee those level 3 soul bursts in the middle of a team fight.
yeah, and actually top lane over here, we're probably going to see Haxon maybe jump Soul Stealer. They really want to do this, but they know that they don't have the damage to kill him unless he's Keeper ultimate, so I think they're kind of debating out.
Oh, they're going in right here, and there's the Chuck actually just wanting to do some damage. He knew that he did not have enough damage right there. And no mana regen of any kind here on Haxorin's Pebbles. What do you think about this? No bottle, no mana ring, no early Arcanas or anything, as they're going to look for a kill on Pebbles. Going to have to get in there. No! Nice portal key! And he will be able to escape for now, so very, very well timed from Haxorin. Don't know if he was planning to do that already or if that was reflexes, but that was impressive one way or the other.
Yeah, talking about his mana pool, I know that early game, when they were fighting mid, they had like that's kind of where they were sitting on like a slight advantage in terms of golden experience, and Ophelia just kept constantly giving him because he's a mana ring. So I think he really didn't feel like that was a problem, but at the same time, you have a power supply. I honestly think that's enough. I wouldn't go bottle unless I was mid as him, and Blood Chalice is good, but power supply is just better. I mean, I don't. It's more of if you think, yeah. So, okay. Wow.
Yeah, these two are just playing tag.
His eyes it right now, so we'll see if he comes back. But I think it's fine. He has a power supply. I mean, he also has a mana ring, and I know Chessie's kind of walking around in team fights sometimes giving him mana, and it might seem weird, but he should just go straight for a Shrunken Head right now. That's what he needs, and if he doesn't get that, every time he's gonna jump in, he's gonna not come out alive. So. Right now, focus that power supply is enough, and you know, mana is always a problem on Pebbles unless you get a mana ring. So it's not, can't really just say that he should get like a bottle. It's kind of a waste of money at this point in the game. But I think it's fine, yeah. Always supply, it's not bad.
Oh, Soulstealer gonna find Silhouette right here. The Shadow goes down first. Silhouette does have a portal key, though. He can use the tree grapple instead to actually get out of there. And Franzi able to clean up some of the creeps before they have to evacuate the jungle. Soulstealer, by the way, has gone for this level 1 shield breaker now at 468 gold per minute. And with that shield breaker effect, he's going to have -2 armor in addition to the -5 on Dread. You throw a Soul's Bulwark on top of that once he maxes out that shield breaker. And we're talking -15 armor aura walking around with Soulstealer. That's going to be pretty dang good. He's going to be able to put out a ton of damage. And what do you think about this shield breaker pickup?
I mean, it's okay, but you have Keeper of the Force on the enemy team who has 12 armor right now that he gives to his team every time he uses his buff. So I don't know if it was the best pickup, to be honest. But you do have... I mean, at the same time, I like it, but because it's very, very early and he got it, 20 minutes in the game. But I think late game he has to swap it out for like a lifesteal because it's not going to do much later. I don't think. But I mean, maybe if they pull out that they can take a fight within like the next 5-6 minutes, it's going to do some work. But I don't like it that much. I'd rather see him, get more of a straight damage item, whether that be like a good Juro and actually top lane over here.
Top lane, yeah. Pebbles might be in some trouble. The Meteor going to be going down. No invis detection.
Oh my
Pebbles
god.
will be able to escape.
Mine that's ulted right there.
What? No,
he canceled it right away though. Yeah.
Oh wow, hoping that we wouldn't see it.
No,
trying to cancel it himself and just, of course, maybe having a little bit too much latency. Reflex is not quite fast enough. He is at 171, so I would assume this is US East. Yeah, US East.
I like how everybody's like high and then you have Franzi at 95. It's always like that.
Well, yeah, he's the only person actually in US East. It's nice for him. I mean, B-Kid over there in US West, what's he at, like 140? Yeah, 140. Yeah. Moonmeander at 140 as well, so he's up there on the west coast.
Moon's in Denmark right now.
No, I thought he's back in Canada.
I'm pretty sure he's in Denmark.
Really? He's still in Denmark?
I was watching a stream. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in Denmark.
Man, I thought he was back in Canada. I'm so out of the loop.
I just know he's at least from his stream. Actually, okay. Anyway, so that actually got in trouble.
No lava surge right there, and uses the shadow. Portal keys on away, and this is the hyper mobile solo. Might even be able to go for a kill right here. Nice. It's like an action movie right here. And there's the charge shot with the Fork Lightning onto Ophelia. Uses the Astrolabe and going to be looking for a big Soul Burst right here. And where is it? There's the combo onto Tempest. Tempest goes down. Soul Burst obliterates Ophelia. And Silhouette now needs to get out of there. Tree Grapple once more. Doing some parkour, getting through the trees. And should be able to get out of there with the Portal Key in another 5 seconds. Actually just going to be able to get out. Zai channeling up the ultimate. Going to be going in onto Pebbles right there. Pebbles takes the fall. Looking for a Lava Surge perhaps. Does not connect, and Silhouette will be able to get out of there. So in the end, a 2-for-1 exchange favoring Trademark. They lose Tempest as opposed to the Pebbles and Ophelia here for Complexity. That's a trade they're willing to make, but Silhouette, just the mobility that hero has is stupid. There's no other way to put it out. You throw a portal key on her and she is ridiculously mobile, as we saw right there.
Yeah. By the way, just going back to that fight a bit before I go into anything else, I think that the main problem with that fight is that Moon was caught out of position. He ran towards his team, and his team was kind of more there I don't think they were prepared for a team fight. Taking a look at the ward situation over here, you have Franzi that placed the ward kind of in the right of the river, or the left, and they came from mid, a couple of the players that Soulstealer did. So I think it was, they caught coL off guard, and Soulstealer he kind of annihilated Ophelia. And they just took that fight very, very convincingly because, like, coL was just worried about saving Moon. They didn't really even think about taking a team fight at that point. So, well played by tdM, kind of coming out of nowhere and, obliterating that fight. And that's what they need to do. It doesn't even look like there's a huge gold or XP lead. But, like, if you watch team fights, you have NoobG doing work.
You certainly do. And, well, that's what they're doing. I mean, NoobG up at 479 gold per minute. He's still working on that shield breaker. He's finished it up now. Now might be making his way towards something like a Geometer's Bane, maybe the Soul's Bulwark or the Demonic Breastplate. Eventually here, lots and lots of options to go for. Hell, even the new Thunderclaw, I've actually seen that used in the in-house league on a Soul Stealer. And worked out pretty well. Pretty dang well.
I've seen it on Draconis, and it's pretty, because Draconis hits like 3 people at once, and I think it actually counts that as like an auto, like 3 different auto attacks. I think so, yeah. Because I'm not sure, but
I would have to test that.
I don't know.
Have to test that later.
Pretty balanced if it is. But.
Pretty balanced indeed. But tdM, I mean, they're still only up a bit in terms of golden experience. And I guess that's more of Limp, like not really finding the farm that he needs, where Keeper of the Forest is farming very well, who has, I believe, just finished up a Refresher Orb. And in fact, right here, needs to get rid of that Logger's Hatchet. He didn't pick up the Refresher Orb, and that's like 6,000 gold. You need to pick that up before it gets killed.
Where is this?
Top lane, there we go.
Totally.
He does get the Refresher.
Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah. Wow, that's okay. I haven't paid attention to the Beacon at all this game, except for his ultimates. Oh wow, okay.
363 gold per minute. It's an early
decent.
refresher.
I mean, the number doesn't look that big in terms of GPM, but yeah, the item is huge. And now he can, worry about kind of initiating with those ultimates instead of counter initiating. But at the same time, he has to be careful for the Tempest. But if you watch him in the team fights, that's kind of the reason why coL is getting stomped on and run. You always see them kind of running away because B-Kid can never initiate with an ultimate because if Tempest catches the rest of the team, it's his fault. So hopefully this opens up team fights a bit more for complexity, and maybe they can even jump Tempest for a fight because he is pretty squishy. So.
Yeah. Now be able to use one to initiate and then one to interrupt Tempest ultimate until Tempest can get a refresher of his own, which Minot's saying he's still 5,000 gold away if that's going to be what he's going for next, but he doesn't even have a shrunken head yet. Going for the blink and the push stick to get hypermobile over there as well with his phase boots. So if he's looking for a shrunken head into a refresher orb, I mean he's close to 10,000 gold away, which is pretty dang far away at 285 gold per minute.
Yeah, I think the main problem right now with this Hellborn team is that they have so many people trying to farm. You have Limp constantly in the jungle. Same thing with Noobg, always taking stacks. And then you have Zai every once in a while, pushing at the lane. So Minot's really is in a tough position, and you don't really want to be the guy that takes your carry's farm at this point in the game. I mean, there's no reason to. But I think if Minot figures out that B-Kid has a Restoration Stone, I don't think he's going to be worried about farming. I think he's kind of just going to say screw it. And he's going to be playing very, very safe just so B-Kid doesn't participate in team fights. I think that's going to be what Minot is going to try to do now in fights. Just, kind of sub himself out for B-Kid on that Keeper of the Forest.
Interesting. And, well, how do you think that would work out? I mean, not having the root is a big deal. Not having 2 roots is a bigger deal. But not having Glacial Blasts or Meteor or anything like that as well, that's kind of impactful too. As Concord does go down right here, the Legion team were in position, might be looking to go in, and in fact will be able to get the pick off right there. And Pebbles needs to activate that Shrunken Head, get a man up onto Soul Stealer right here, and Soul Stealer will go down. Token brings it back up. Complexity needs to be very careful right here. They get the Token of Life coming up. There's the Elemental Void, and the Eruption going to be following up. Huge mispositioning right there. 3 players go down. Silhouette able to get out of there at the last second, and Silhouette might not be able to finish getting out of there. Pebbles comes back in. He's able to bring down Soul Stealer. Might be able to man up onto Minots, but no, Minots will be able to actually get the kill onto Haxerin. There's the Lava Surge onto Silhouette, and Luna in position with the power throw available. Will they be able to finish her off? Yes, they do, with the Fork Lightning and a Genocide for tdM. Wow.
Yeah. By the way, if you didn't notice that, Limp ulted Zai defensively, like the last second right there.
Yes,
that's really huge, yeah. So that was a really interesting fight. First of all, I'm sure you even said it yourself. B-Kid just was out of position totally, and that's why that's what I was saying before. Usually both initiators stay back. I don't know why B-Kid jumped in. I think they thought that they were gonna, or I think B-Kid just wanted to catch the Soul Steal and his ultimate and have his team focus it down. But that was a really fast reactions by Minus as well. I'm pretty sure Minus jumped the second B-Kid was ready to ult, so perfect timing coming out by tdM, and that kind of wins you fights.
It's so unfortunate because they got the early pickoff on Limp. They got the Token of Life, and they were going to be able to get the kill onto Soul Stealer as well if B-Kid had just stayed back, interrupted the Tempest hole. That's like 3, 4 for maybe one person or something. Unfortunately, they end up getting genocided, end up only killing the 2 players right there in Master of Arms and Soul Stealer. Master of Arms does, of course, buy back, but it could have been a huge win right there, and in the end, it ends up giving tdM a very, very large lead now.
Yeah, I mean, they had everything going for them in that fight. You had the Catman champion jumping in, spotting out Soul Stealer, Haxon doing a very nice initiate, picking off Master Arms in the beginning of the fight. Then even Soul Stealer gets taken out. Token pretty much is just used right away, not even there. And then, you know, you had, even when the fight ended, you had Moonmeander and Haxon still alive, and they both try to get kills, which Haxon successfully did on a Soul Stealer, but, you know, Moon unfortunately died. But, I mean, if you had those 2 keeper roots, I mean, yeah, you could argue that they would have most likely even won that fight if they played it correctly. So now they're going to put a bit of pressure on the base because they know that the Tempest Ultimate is down and they didn't use any of their roots.
Yep.
So
40 seconds on Tempest Elemental Void. Eruption is back up. If they can get a root onto 2 players right here, like the Tempest and the Magnus, or even the Master of Arms plus anybody else, they have the potential to take a very good fight right now. And well, we'll see if they try to go in for the initiation. Tempest Elemental Void's up in 19 seconds, though, and Complexity chooses to back off, not wanting to have to deal with that. Instead, going to be making their way into their opponent's jungle to do a little bit of resource management and just keep on trying to farm, maybe catch their opponents out of position as they come up into this lane. And they certainly might catch Zai over here. Zai does not have any vision below him, needs to be very, very careful if he shows himself in this lane.
Nice. Wanted to go farm, and actually he's picked up a Storm Spirit, so Zai's doing pretty well. He's kind of going for that semi-supportive role now in this game. I do like the Storm Spirit pick up a lot because you're always going to have Pebbles initiate on that one hero on your team, whoever it is, so Storm Spirit's good. And yeah, they're going to try to go on this.
Yeah, there's the Lava Surge, and, well, just auto-attacking down right there. Pebbles gets into position. Bad position, though. There's the Elemental Void. Shrunken Head not going to help you against that. And Hactor taking so much damage. Use the Stalagmite's not going to be able to save himself, though. And that was another just... Oh, they were in the jungle. They were farming. They had vision, 1 ward there in the jungle, but a great job of tdM to actually avoid the jungle, went down the river instead, and caught Complexity completely unawares.
Yeah, I mean, if you had the rest of coL running up while they were ulting Pebbles, I'm pretty sure they would have turned that fight, because you would cancel the Tempest Ultimate, and they were kind of all out of position. You know, Minus was openly easy to stun by anybody, but you know, coL just wasn't ready once again, and you know, it's hurting them, and it's going to hurt them even more in the long run if they continue to make these kind of silly mistakes and be out of position in fights. I mean, I'm not blaming, you know, B-Kid or Moon for not CPing, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure if they did, it could have been a huge turn for them. And now they're sitting in a deficit where Tower's at half HP, and they need to make kind of a big play, because if they lose one more team fight, they're probably going to lose their barracks.
Yeah, they do definitely need to make big plays, but if anybody is capable of doing that, well, a Complexity squad known for their big plays, and I'd really just like to see them get one strong initiation off in these fights, but tdM's positioning has been fantastic thus far in the game. We have not seen a root from Keeper of the Forest since he picked up that refresher 7 minutes ago. And like, that just kind of talks to you about how these team fights have been going, because they've been involved in 2 team fights since then, 3 team fights even. And just not able to get that happening. We'll see. We'll see in the next team fight if they're able to try to. And it looks like Legion team actually going to be going kind of not all in, but pushing top real hard. And with the only other remaining tower for them in the middle lane, probably going to be trading that one. And looking to push a Rax here, perhaps. I'm not sure. Maybe just open up this jungle a little bit more. And we'll see how tdM actually responds. Once again, the ward in the jungle could provide them some very crucial vision. And tdM, if they have somebody walk over that, could very quickly get initiated on by Haxerin or by Beacon.
Yeah, they're going to get this free tower, though. It's going to be traded by mid. And another thing I haven't really been paying attention now I just noticed is that how Beacon's actually armoring his team with this first skill, which I like because he shouldn't be doing that the whole time. But I haven't really noticed him do that before. And, you know,
Silhouette going in right there, using the shadow to actually fall back as TP support is coming in. And there's Soul Stealer actually just got a 3-shot torturer right there. He goes down, Lava Surge onto Moon Meander, and Moon's going to need to activate that Shrunken Head. No, going to fall back. Haxerin is actually in deep right there. Hax goes down, and Moon Queen, or Silhouette, Moon Meander is going to activate the Shrunken Head. Not going to save him, though. Auto attacks from Soul Stealer, and that is going to be the game here. Ophelia goes down as well. Noob G with the quad kill on Soul Stealer. And expect GG well playeds here pretty momentarily. And would you agree that this game is pretty much over at this point? Oh, double damage room just spawned too.
Yeah, it's getting there. I don't know. I'm kind of sad that B-Kid's not ulting. I mean, I just want to see him use his ultimate once because right there, Tempest blinked in and he had a Shrunken Head activated. You could have just jumped in right there and ulted. Maybe it might have not been the best decision, but you need to start using it because it's just being a waste right now, not being used at all. And, you know, they knew that if they lost that team fight, they probably wouldn't have been able to come back and defend their barracks. So I think they should have been a bit more all in, at least with one of his ultimates. Maybe not using both, but yeah, I mean, he had an opportunity to get 4 people in his ultimate, and he didn't. So I'm kind of sad that, you know, like a game is like this where you have a huge initiator and he doesn't do what you need him to do, as he's going to do right now.
He's going to go in right there, and there's the root. Shrunken Head comes out and needs to hold on to the second one for the Elemental Void, but Torture just gets absolutely disintegrated right there. And Legion calling the vote to concede his complexity down 23,000 gold, 25,000 experience. Well, and it is just a scrim. It's nothing to get too mad over. There's the Lava Surge coming in. Elemental Void catching 2. Eruption going to be charged up in the concede before they die. That's going to do it. And as I said, it's just a scrim. It's nothing to get that you want to get too upset over. But in the end, I mean, that was a real rough game there for Complexity. They had a great start and just lost, 4 team fights in a row right there. Not the way they wanted to end it, but hopefully they're going to be just using this to get some more experience in these new player roles, try to get more accustomed to it, and we'll be seeing better games from them in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate, that game, but yeah, hopefully it doesn't get to them and they just, you know, keep playing, practicing, because, you know, when you're on a different role, it's just a different, you just have a totally different feeling in a game, so.
You certainly do. All right, Panny. Well, that is going to do it for that game. We're going to go to a quick break before we get the next one started. I'm going to be doing some more some more Scrimcast as the scrims do persist, and then going to be cutting to Sound Blaster Heroes League a little bit later on in the day. Panny, any shoutouts before we go to break?
Shout out to Kezu. That's all right now.
All right, Kezu, good guy. Like him a lot. So, all right, shout out to Kezu as well, but of course a shout out to both of these teams, Trademark and Complexity, for showing up and giving us some good games. And of course to all the players over there at Complexity, Moon Meander, Chessie, Haxerin, Franzi, B-Kid. Without their being here playing the games, then we wouldn't get to cast them. And of course to Complexity Gaming. You can check them out over at complexitygaming.com, or Hauntour is on the front page. Guys, we're going to try to get into a new game right away. Don't go anywhere.